Hello, I'm Neil, welcome back to The Happy Hut. The trouble with any DIY job is that you never know if you're going to see it through to the end. So the problem with sharing that on YouTube is that it could make for a rubbish video. But I'm going to see if I can see this one through to the end, because this has been going on for months. I've done this in 2 stages so far. It's all about setting up my Wi-Fi box so that it's not on the floor being kicked around and blocked by things. Here's where the Wi-Fi is now, but it didn't always used to be this way. It started off on the floor like this, and I knew that wasn't a good place for it, so I moved the box to over here, and to do that I had to move all the cables and go under the floorboards. And then when that was set up, I had to move it all over again because it was on the wrong side of the door, and that was a complete success. But now it's here, which is good, but the Wi-Fi box is over here, which is not good because the door just crushes the wires. So I'm going to finally tackle the last leg of this job, which is to put the Wi-Fi router from here all the way up here on a shelf. So it will broadcast to the house instead of being blocked by whatever boxes are put on the hallway table. It's going to be up in the air, and I think that will give us a better signal, but it also means that the cables aren't being crushed every time we close the living room door every night to keep Casper out. I've got to somehow work out a way of getting all those cables, all of these cables over here. I've got to run the essential ones over the door through a hole there. As an added bonus, I'm going to create a shelf here, but also run a cable up here. That Ethernet cable is going to emerge here, under the carpet, under the floorboards. So I've got to somehow, yet again, pull up the carpet, drill a hole into the floorboards and get that Ethernet cable into his gaming PC. And I don't know if I'm going to see this job through. So I thought if I film it, it'll be the final conclusion to this 3-part trilogy on moving the Wi-Fi box. My name is Neil, and this is the Dad Delivers vlog, where every day I try something new, and today I'm going to try and finally move the Wi-Fi box off the floor and into a place where it will actually work. The first part of this job is probably the hardest part of this job, where I'm going to... Oh, hello Casper. Hiya. I've got to find the longest drill bit. Now I know I've got this long drill bit because I've used it before years ago. It's somewhere here in this very well organised garage. We had to move everything out because our kitchen was ripped out. I've done about 3 minutes research and I know it's in this box here. So the first task is to get the long drill bit. It's my big tools box. There it is. I'm sure I've got some other ones, but that's gonna be what I need to do. These drill bits, they're very thin, and I need to run about 4 cables through the wall. So I think I'm gonna end up like turning it into some kind of cheese hole. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna pull out the big guns. That's the one. Oh yeah. That's done absolutely nothing. I think what I need to do first is to get a small drill bit and then step up. These are really hard walls. I think they were built in the 1920s where they used like just concrete, super hard bricks. And usually when I'm drilling, I try to do it really carefully because I'm going to put in a raw plug and a screw. But with this, I'm actually carving out a hole big enough for an Ethernet plug to go through. I know I could just put the cable through and then wire the plug, but I don't know how to wire Ethernet plugs, so obviously it's easier to just knock a bigger hole through the wall. So I've got to the end of the drill bit, the reach of the drill bit. I can now take this off and put the big boy on. Let me show you where it's going to emerge on the other side. It's got to go through about 2 brick widths, and it's going to emerge here. And I know this is totally safe because we had all of this exposed. We actually had this switch put in. It's a fan switch for the shower there. So I know for a fact that my hole isn't going to go near any wiring over there, so that's safe. So I need my massive drill bit to emerge about here. Let's see how this goes. Don't start yet, I'll tell you when it's coming, okay? So I've got my son filming on the other side to see if we can capture the breakthrough. Did it go through?
Yeah.
It's gone through?
Yeah.
That was easy. So it's gone through, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I've got 2 holes in the wall. Oh, it's really neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
The job that I face now is that I've got to make this hole much bigger. I'm going to make a lot of mess. I'm going to use my widest, biggest, fattest drill bits to open up this hole. So the next step now is to put a hole in the ceiling there so that a 4th cable could be run directly from my son's computer to the router box. I hate lifting up carpets in our house because we spent so much on them, and also the door is in the way of this one. I don't know how to do it. There we go. So I need to somehow lift this up. It's easier with the door open, but not with the dog. Stop it! Every time I do some work, you get in the way. Give me love. Uh-oh. Oh no. The floorboard's sunk on this side. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not good, because I've now wrecked this floorboard here. So I'm going to have to find a way to prop it back up afterwards. Can you see it sinking? Oh no, I've wrecked the landing. But anyway, I've got my hole here that I can reach through. So if I sort the wire out first, then I'll be able to fix this floorboard that's sinking. I'll underpin it somehow to bring this back up in line with the others. It's completely sunk. I did not want that to happen. Wow, look, it has fallen through. And oh no! The good news is that the floorboards haven't completely fallen through. But the bad news is that I can't get the wire from this side through to the hole in the ceiling below. There's this joist in the way. So I'm going to have to go on the landing side anyway. So it's probably a good job that that floorboard has fallen through, because at least I can use that gap to wiggle the wire into the right place. Casper's under me. Don't stop it. I hope I'm getting you a good shot here. Wish I could see it. Help me feed this down. So the hole that I drilled yesterday is just down there. Let's take this out of the way. I wonder if I need to feed it up. That might be easier. This is the hole that I'm looking for from down below, and I've got my camera light shining down there. You can see that pinprick of light. I'm going to climb up and try and force this Ethernet plug through the hole that's here. I don't know if it's big enough. I'm going to let go now, and I hope that it just stays. And then I'll go upstairs and we'll pull it down. No, we'll pull it up. Here's where the wire emerges. There, got it. So now the wire can come up. Oh, I think that's the hardest part done. So all I've got to do now is fix the floorboard somehow and route this cable all the way through downstairs, and I need to find a route for the cable upstairs. So I have made a temporary platform for the floorboard just under here, and all I need to do now is to slide the floorboard under. I hope I can get it flush enough. I hope there's enough room. It might not work. Perfect, that's now completely solid. So now to repair the hole on the other side. Now we can lay the floorboard on and screw it onto the joist over here. That is completely unbudgeable. Yes! So now let's roll the carpets back into place, and I'll try and tuck everything as neatly as possible. No, Casper, no, out. Day 3, and it's got to end today, please. The carpets upstairs, by the way, look amazing. I think that's a pretty good job that I've done up there. Look, the cable just emerges really neatly from the side there, up the skirting. I've got a power extension lead and 2 Category 7 Ethernet cables. I didn't even know there was a Cat 7. I thought there were Cat 5. So here's me feeding through the Ethernet cables first, and it's the plug that's the biggest thing to get through the hole. And once that's through, I've then got flat cable. So hopefully, yeah, it's a bit of a squeeze, but there is the second plug going in. So now I have everything set up, I think, cable-wise. I've got these two Ethernet cables, and the power cable will power the Google Nest box. The next thing to do is to put this up. I fashioned a groovy shelf, and that's going to go on like this and hopefully hide everything. Oh my goodness, we did it! Woo! So the shelf is now ready. So all I need to do is to wire this plug these in, and get the Nest box out of the hallway. Finally, we can get rid of those leads underneath the door. This is so exciting. I've been waiting for this for months. So we now have the cables going through. I know that doesn't look great, but I'm going to put trunking there, and then the cables are going to run down the side of the door here under the trunking. I now plugged back up the power cable, so let's plug that in. And the whole thing is on a timer switch as well, so it goes off at night. There, so I now have power going to the shelf. Now I can get the Google Nest box and take it over to the special shelf. Oh, this is so good, look. I don't think that looks too bad. That could look a lot worse. And then I don't know which one of these cables is which. Yes! We did it! We got the internet from up in the air instead of the hallway table. It's done! 3 months and 3 videos it's taken me to do this. And finally, I've got Wi-Fi exactly where I want it. I know it doesn't look like much, but I absolutely love my Wi-Fi shelf. It means that all the cables are out of the way now and not being jammed underneath the living room door. And because the router itself is higher up, we get much better Wi-Fi coverage around the whole house and garden. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And right here is another video that YouTube knows you'll love.
Can you please help my daddy get 10,000 subscribers? Just click on his face. Thanks, bye! Alright, this is gonna be the proper one, right?